All right, finally got my pants on there. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I was wearing my gym shorts. What? What? I was working out. I just, came early. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being here with the Lifer. May you stay blessed and amazing. We're going to start off this day looking at Bitcoin, hugging 109,008. Really trying to stay in the game here. The bulls are fighting so hard. But the 1 hour time frame looks like it's coming down, and so does BOOKMAP. Says it's about to bring us to the downside. So we will see what happens here, and we're going to fight through the market as we do every single day. I might even see something worth trading. You never know. It's been treachery. I went short this morning. Then they pumped it back. They gave me cold feet. I jumped out. I'm a small loss kind of guy. I cut off $100 to $200 losses all the time. I let out. I go for big gains. That's kind of my thing. If that's not your style, be careful, because I might cut off a trade that actually might play out at one point. You never know if you just stay in it. So you got to figure out your positional strength, what you're doing. Then it looked like to go long, and it didn't. It looked like we could go long. They were playing games at the price action. All right. And now the same thing, kind of hovering the 1 minute 200 moving average, bit of an inverted. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down right now for you and me, because it helps me to do this as much, because I love you. And I love doing the right thing for everybody else and for myself. So let's do the right thing. I am looking at a bear flag here for Bitcoin. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. You can see a sloppy, drunken head and shoulder, right? A drunken head and shoulder pattern. That's what I'm seeing. And I could be wrong. Lower highs along the way. Lower high, lower high. I mean, the trend's your friend. So you get in here and you expect a lower low. That's all I'm saying. You're below the 200 moving average. Remember when I told you yesterday that defines the trend? When you get above it, it means you've made a higher low. See, now the trend's your friend. That's why I trade above the 200. When you get below it, you can see lower lows. That's why the trend's your friend. The 1 hour helps you. If you're not good at understanding trend, trade the 200 moving average with me. If you know how to trade trend, then you'll understand in confluence that the 200 will come into play and help you out. So it's looking more bearish than bullish, in my humble opinion. I see no reason to get into a long or do anything crazy here, except to short. The stochastics are overbought. Price action says it wants to go to the downside. So I see more downside. Stop loss can be pretty high here. You could do 2-to-1 if you want. Heck, you could do whatever you want. 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, whatever you feel the need. I like being right there. Pretty good spot. That previous resistance right there. So there, that's a 3.28 risk-reward ratio. Sends you down to 104,000. We take a look at BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP says 1778 is the target right there. 178.90. Or for Bitcoin, 107,800. So we're looking for a move down based on BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP's been pretty accurate for a while now. It called the downside. It could see a lot of liquidity. We went there. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it does look like Bitcoin wants to take a little bit of a tumbleina. A little bit of a tumbleina down to 107.9, 107.8. All right, so that's what we're looking at for BTC. I could be terribly wrong. We may reverse and go on a massive short squeeze. So be careful. That's the one thing. It's treachery to trade right now. That's the one thing. Am I short or am I long is the question. I'm neither. I am chilling right now. Why is that? I'll be honest. I like to do small scalps, and the small time frames have been doing this and that. So if you've traded the small time frames and today it's been up and down. And I don't like that back and forth choppy chop. I like to get direction above the 200. Look, we keep getting above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute, but not getting the follow through of the model. Right there. Here we have a bit of an inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we keep toying. So it's like it looks bearish on the 1 hour, but then on the small time frames, we keep toying with price action. So it's been treachery. So I could see myself shorting and them squeezing me in 2 seconds. I could see myself shorting and making gains, but I could see a squeeze like bling, and then them dumping the market too. So I'm very wary of price action right now. And there's less people in the market than normal. It still is summer trading. It's the last week. This is the last hurrah on the East Coast. People are just going to not pay attention at all. This is when they really just don't care about the market, because this is like 2 weeks left and they go to school. So if the dad said, I'm going to take you guys to that, I'm going to rent that Airbnb and take, and finally he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And he's going to close the computer and finally not look at the market for a little while. You call me crazy, algorithms still run and pump, but just people aren't going to, people's focus is energy and energy moves, and people just aren't going to give a dang. So Usually things slow down to end of August into September. You never know. Tightness right here for price action. We're on the 200 moving average here on the 5-minute time frame. Had to get above it. This is like a huge, like we get rejected, it's over. So do you make the long or the short? It's a really hard call. I could see myself getting nailed in front of everybody if I make the short. Probability tells me that I should short. So, but I don't like shorting Bitcoin. I personally buy, I buy a lot of it. I bought more yesterday. In front of the trading group, I bought $3,000 more BTC on the dump. When it went down in here, I said, I got to buy more 109. I mean, I got to buy it. I bought more Bitcoin on the dip. It just made sense to me. Every time I see a massive dump, it's time to buy more Bitcoin. Okay? So this is kind of what I'm watching here on the 5-minute time frame. I'm watching a bear flag. That's likely going to break to the downside. This is what I see happening. This is what is most likely. Please close the door when you can. So shout out to everybody there, So can we get this move down? Or are we going to get the pump back to the upside? And it kind of all depends. 3 minute, 1 minute, we're all kind of sitting right here on the 200s. Smart thing to do. And I just had an epiphany. So let's break down my system and let's talk about it for a second. All right. My system consists of using the 200 moving average. As I've told you, when price starts making a lower low, then another lower low, it'll usually cross. And it will start making a down run. When it crosses the 200, it will start coming down. When it crosses the 200 here, it'll start coming up. However, on very small time frames, when you're in chop, you're going to come to the 200 and you're going to do a lot of this. When you're in a really bullish scenario, the 200 and all the moving average is going to be so tight and price action is going to be in there like that. And it's just going to be a jumbolina. Boom. While we had tumbelina, jumbolina. Maybe we can find another thumbelina. So here's the deal. Above the 200 moving average. So, but when the small time frames get sketchy, so here's the deal. When we're in really good volume and things are moving, I can use the 1 minute. Because price action's moving so well, when we cross the 1 minute 200, the 21 comes, and there's some good action, and I can get the move out of the model. When price action sucks, I can't really use the 1 minute as much because the 1 minute starts getting too tight. I don't have enough volume to push the 1 minute, a small time frame. Think about it. It's almost like the 1 minute's heavier to move than the 5 minute, Anyway, so what do you do in that situation? Well, if you try it once and you notice that your trade goes sideways or does nothing and you get out. You try it twice and the trade goes nothing. A few times I have missed the third one. You know what I mean? It has happened. It's not 100%. This is the weak part of the model. It has a slight weakness. Every model, everything you have, you should be able to assess it 100% from the top, bottom to like the hardness of the weak. Like how strong is it in percentage wise to when and where you use it? There should be some times where your model is a little weak and you should know that. And that's okay. That doesn't mean your model sucks. It means your model works better at certain times. My model works great when there's heavy liquidity. All right. We're going to get into price action right now because there's a chance we are slightly reversing as we get back above the 200 moving average. Also, what I'm seeing here on Bitfinex is a bit of an inverted head and shoulder. Okay. Let me take a look at my weeks on the 1 minute. So yeah, we've got a complex inverted head and shoulder on a Tuesday morning, but with low liquidity, sketchy price action. But that is supposed to break to the upside. If I'm true to this, this is supposed to go. I'm supposed to trade this blind without thinking about it, like a bot. I have like not too long to set it up. Perfect setup there. I'm going to go to 111329. I'm going to put the stop at 109730. We're going to go 350. Why is it so weak? Oh, wow. We pumped up so much that it changed my risk immediately. Look at that. Ooh. 265, which isn't my favorite. 109883. It's moving on me so fast. Dang, man. Change my risk. I'm chasing a bit here. Let's see. I'll let that cook. Let's do our long-term analysis here. So anyway, back to this idea. So what do I do here? You're struggling, the 1 minute struggling. Smarter decision is to go to the 5 or the 7, which here's the 200. Wait for price to breach that and let the 21 cook. And take this scalp. Yes, there's less of a range there. Yes, there's less reward because the risk isn't as heavy. It's riskier to do what we just did now on the low, right? So, wow, Bitcoin did pump up, though. Wow, the king of 3%. I don't know how I just made 3%, over 3% like that. Let's see what happens, though. I mean, that was just kind of quick. Can we get the follow through now? It's a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. This is a complex inverted head and shoulder. This is a measured move from the neckline to the head, friends. I don't make these rules. This is just the bots trade the same way. If patterns didn't work, then why did the bot take the same trade, you know? And that can go all the way up to 111,235. We have the power law on Bitcoin. That's what I use to trade my bot on MINOTAUR. It uses the power law. Bitcoin has a mathematical equation explaining its use case and its percentage price to go up over time. It also gives you kind of a liquidation area and a key component to the true value of Bitcoin based on how much it is to mine and make Bitcoin, and like also how much it's been moving, how much it gains against other currencies throughout the world. Anyway, schedule a free call with the MINOTAUR trading team if you want to have a bot trade for you. I have this bot that trades for me. Look, it's buying here. It just bought the bottom recently. And if it dips a little bit, it'll buy some more. These are the best price action when the bot likes to buy these and create these bigger orders. See, the bot has been doing wonderful. It bought here. It sold there and there. Then the bot bought right here and sold right there. Then it started this beautiful position that it's been making for a while now. And all it needs to do is get it back to 117,000 to make a beautiful profit level there. So that's what the bot's likely going to do. The next move up to 117K on the liquidations, it'll cash out. It'll begin the process all over again. This is a beautiful thing. I love this bot. And I was hesitant to trade bots. I'm telling you right now, I do get a commission if you use the bot. All right, that's the facts. But I think it's something, it's also just, I only talk about things that I actually use. So check it out today. Find out more at MINOTAUR Trading Systems if you'd like to know a bit in. Sam, what is the durable goods info that came out today? It was bullish, I think. Let's take a look, man, at Forex Factory and see what's happening. Monday. Bank holiday, boom, boom, and Tuesday. Here we go on Tuesday. Core durable goods, month over month. Yeah, actual 1.1%. Forecast at 2%. Core durable goods, durable good orders month over month, down 0.28%. So the orders are down month over month. But the core durable good orders are up month over month. So what people need, I guess, I don't know, you know, we'd have to kind of break down core versus durable. Durable goods order month over month. Wow. It was below forecast, though, you see, at 1.1. And, you know, more durable good orders is a good idea, right? It shows. But, I mean, to me, I'm going to research that for my crew, and I'll basically run it through Grok, and it'll tell me everything I need to know. Lindsey Huckin is another group, but I'm not getting that much. Man, come on, man, stop. Enoch didn't just think it's amazing. What? I don't know what these people. God bless you. Oh, these weirdos. What is that? Sorry. I shouldn't be looking at the chart, the chat, I guess, but. What about the cabinet meeting today, Sam? It will happen in 34 minutes. I mean, that always can get spicy. It can get spicy. If you're trading Forex tonight at 9:30, you have CPI year over year. That's interesting in Australia. Tomorrow, nothing crazy. Thursday, we have unemployment claims coming in and pre-GDP price index quarter over quarter and preliminary. So that's definitely going to move the market tomorrow at 8:30. I mean, not tomorrow, Thursday at 8:30. Forgive me. I'm moving through the week too quick. And then Friday, we have core CP price index. All right, at 8:30. So Thursday and Friday at 8:30, look out for crazy price action in the markets. Can this inverted head and shoulders save the day, or are we coming back down? Now we got to make a flag. Touch the 21-day moving average and not lose the 200. Chance we just do. It hasn't been amazing. So we'll see. It's been a tough couple of weeks to trade, honestly. It's been chop, and then we've had a monster move. Like, I call it lucky. I show up every day, but I'm so lucky I caught the move on Friday. Since then, I have not been in a monster trade. 300 for 1,000, 100 for, 200 for 6. I just been kind of dibble-dabbling. Ethereum was up $700 on Sunday. I just joined the 99. God bless you, Nalbi, Nabal Aleem. Everyone tell Nabel we love him. Say we're going to do our best to help you learn as much as you can in the best way possible. I'd like to say as fast as possible, but fast isn't always the best, right? Haste makes wakes. I want you to learn the best way. The way that you see fit, that helps you push yourself. But I definitely hope you could continue to better yourself through our trading group. In the mornings, just in case anyone is having trouble getting discipline, struggling, I'll be back to my regular schedule. I'll be posting a Jim Rohn video and a workout video. I listen to Jim Rohn while I work out. It's a dual sword effect. Today, he talked about losing or leading yourself. He talked about you're always either losing or leading yourself, and he was right. Anyone ever feel like you were losing yourself? I did for years. You knew you were someone better than that, but you just kept doing the whatever thing. You didn't motivate yourself. You didn't do it. You kind of went with the flow. What happens is you become part of someone else's plan. Like I was working on other people's TV shows and all the other companies and some CEO that made his plan, and I went to work for him every day. And I kept saying, until I have my own plan, I'm part of somebody else's. And Jim Rohn kept telling me, and he told me the hard truths that I didn't want to know. Anyway, we're not going to spend as much time as yesterday, but I do want to reiterate these facts. Hyperliquid coming out with more volume than Robinhood. Huge news. Staying so solid and consistent. I'm so long Hyperliquid, it's ridiculous. I've been building a bigger and bigger position. I see this thing mooning to 62.81. It just looks good to me. I could be wrong. Maybe they slap liquidity down and make a double bottom or something. But right now, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Bit of a cup and handle on its way. I just like what I'm seeing. I'm going to pull a fib for you too as well here, just so you can feel comfy-wumpy. You can see we clearly bounced to the 618.65, the golden Paquito. And we're on our way out of here to the upside. So I like what I'm seeing here for Hyperliquid. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's spot on. Might be the hottest thing since sliced bread on the market today. I like what I'm seeing here. This thing is like salami sizzling on the grill, right? Or it's like a Philly cheesesteak ready to go. Like smother that thing, whiz or whiz, with whiz, right? With whiz, get out of the line here. I was at Patrick's, or you go to Geno's. Pat's or Geno's, or get out. That's it. They got the monopoly in the square there. I've only been to Philly a couple times. One time with my buddy when we were younger. It was crazy. Like, you drink all night and don't remember anything. I had a lot of those growing up. Way too many. One kid, he woke up in his shopping cart. We pushed him home. We rang his doorbell and ran away. His dad opened up. He was in the shopping cart, passed out. All sorts of craziness. True story, man. True story. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. And again, I don't drink alcohol anymore because of years of abusing it in Boston. I had my fill, holding the tree until my stomach hurt. Oh my God, throwing up over and over again all night. Probably having to go to the hospital numerous times. I've had alcohol poisoning, I'd say 50 times. Like, I've been hugging toilets till it hurts all night long. Oh my God, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I gave it up 4 years ago. And again, I wasn't even the worst alcoholic like in my later years, but man, if you're struggling with alcohol or you're struggling with life, alcohol is having a huge role. Anyway, Hyperliquid looks absolutely beautiful to me. Let's jump on into the analysis for Bitcoin and break it down. But trust me, I've been there, everyone. I'm not a saint. They say, an expert is simply someone that has made every mistake in a narrow field. Could 109 be the bounce? Could this be the bottom? Could we just long right now with a long below the wick and go for it all the way? There's a chance here. So you're telling me there's a chance? I mean, why not go 500 for like a couple grand up here? 500 for $3,000 and see if it rolls. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe 450? Maybe I'm going to do it. I might long this bottom here because, I like what I'm seeing on this giant inverted head and shoulder. It's looking good to me. See how it's making the next curve? Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. These are higher lows. This is how you dig away. Higher low, 21-day moving average above the 200. Lower stochastics. We've reset the momentum. Look at another thing that I'm going to show you that's going to blow your mind here. I'm going to get the indicator out. I'm going to get it nice and neat for you. Sammy's going to do it right over here. Sammy's going to do it right, huh? Shout out to all my peoples that have been with me this whole time. Shout out to everyone that's helped this channel grow to 100,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. I am amazed. This is unbelievable. I am a bot. No, but seriously, thank you. May God bless you all for being the coolest gang in the house. So look at this thing. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Booming to 111,300. Looks like we may get there. All these things are possible, right? Do we long the bottom on the daily with guts of steel right now? Let's break it down. Let's have some fun. Let's see what's going on. So Bitcoin, head and shoulder pattern that we identified on the 1 hour. However, we have some strong support or resistance at 109 that may just hold us down. We've got a bear flag on the 1 hour time frame. Nothing has really changed. We've just gone sideways. Let's flip this upside down and talk about it. And see, if we were bullish, right? Not the most, it could break down. It looks like a Bart Simpson. Does look like it might be an inverse Bart Simpson, right? A lower high, too. Looks okay. We have seen these break out, though, nonetheless. See? And now you start going, oh, my gosh. 21 is touching. 4 hours a little far for the 21-day moving average. Might have to come back to that. That could save us and give us the bounce, too, as well. Now we're seeing a little more bullish div as that's shaping, and that's more flat, too, as well. Let's break it down. Let's do our top-down analysis. I've been kind of playing games here because I wanted to jump in the smaller time frame. So let's do what we do. We know our resistance at 119.5. And I do this every single day. If you're just jumping onto the channel, thank you for jumping on in. Hi, my name's Sam. Nice to meet you. I appreciate you. And I really want to help you grow and learn. So come to the channel every day. I'm going to teach you moving averages, support and resistance. I'm going to show you how it matters and why. I'm going to show you how years and years of doing this has brought me back to the basics and back to the fundamentals time and time again. I know how to show you how you can't escape the love and the passion for TA. Because it's just a special thing and it's a bond between people. I know it sounds strange, but it's a bond. And if you like TA like I do, you're in a special class of people around the world. And it means you're probably destined to do something with your life with this technical stuff, man, and change your life. I see a lot of people, man, they get proud, man. It's some of the first real time they've been able to figure something out that has rewarded them. I like this. The 21 touching, this is a long for me. And it's a complex inverted head and shoulder. Let me speak it again. It's a complex inverted head and shoulder, okay? This has a very likelihood of breaking to the upside. Measured move would take you to 111,800 for Bitcoin. Nice, massive short squeeze. We do this a lot. The 21 touching a flag above the 200 moving average with momentum, and the stochastics are as high. This is starting to get me a little giddy. It is also Tuesday between 10 and 12 where the short squeeze almost happens 90% of the time. We do have liquidity below us. What do you say to that? I say it's not always 100%, but there's a chance they just bring us up and then it's still sketchy business here. Very sketchy. I want to lean towards opening that big boy on this daily. But I really should wait for confirmation of the tweezer bottom. But I could long this right now, 4-1. Just risk 500 for $2,000. You get hit off, so be it. But if not, you catch the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And then the next 4 or 5 times, every time this happens, you go at it. I mean, you're likely to catch one for big gains. And all you need to do is hit like 3 out of 10 of them. You don't need to hit that many. But you got to be consistent. Every time that daily comes, you got to go at it. You see what I'm saying? You can do this stuff if you do it all the time. You can't do it if you just dabble one time with your whole portfolio. It doesn't work like that. But if you go with the proper risk management and you decide this is what I'm going to do for this, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. So possible bottom here on the daily. I may long it. I may have the gall to long this here in front of you. Sam Price steps up to bat. Again, I dang well know I'm just a YouTuber taking a shot. And I'll be called the legend if it pumps. And if it dumps, we'll stash it away and act like it never happened, right? I mean, I'll be here 100 days from now, and I'll probably hit a bunch of gains after this, too, if I do lose. So I haven't made the trade yet, but it's definitely coaxing me in. I am being a little preemptive. This is high risk. This is called the aggressive entry. 116,909 would be my target for the long. Stop loss would be 108,433. Why these numbers? This is just what the doctor orders, right? We go 544 for 18. So we either lose 500, we make 1,800 bucks. You know what I'm saying? So be it. And we long the bottom here. So Sammy longs the bottom. We'll see what happens. I'll just keep that. A chance we caught the very bottom. And now we also got a nice little long cooking here that looks likely based on the complex inverted head and shoulder. I'll tell you what, I've watched a lot of YouTube in my life, and I did watch a good amount of technical analysis. I never saw someone giving TA on like the weekly, the daily, and the 1 minute. It's insane. But God bless everyone that helps this and makes this happen. I appreciate it. So look, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. The complex inverted head and shoulder. Here it is again. And you'll see versions of it in, different looks. There's the head and shoulder too as well. You just flip it upside down. Complex inverted head and shoulder. All right. Goggles? What the? I need the goggles. I need the goggles that. Anyway, I very well may lose that trade. I don't regularly attempt to call the exact bottom. I'm front running the bot there. I'm attempting to beat the bot at the bottom there. There's a chance here this 1 minute could save the day. If we lose the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, the bear flag on the 1 hour will take over. We will dump to 108 and I will get taken out for 500 bucks. I will not get liquidated, but I will lose a trade. And I'll publicly put my name on it and we'll see where it goes. So now you have something to look forward to tomorrow. You can find out what happened to my trade, or you could join the trading group and probably find out tonight. It's up to you. May God bless everybody here that's trading on Weeks. Hit the link to Weeks if you want to jump on in. Beautiful team, great customer service, and a really nice suite of custom indicators and things with their TradingView widget, or how I think that's how you would call it, but it works great. And you can have everything you need here on TradingView ready to go, which I find absolutely great. See, even go here and you can go to the VRVP, which is a paid indicator on TradingView, but you got it here now. You see what I'm saying? Kind of cool the way all that works. And then here, remember how I use the VRVP? Always go to the settings, go into your inputs, and turn the 224 into a 0. Make sure we're flipping that to 0. All right, now you're going to get far more lines. It's going to look clean. And then remember, always hit this to big so you can really get into what's happening if you know. And again, it doesn't look amazing. It's high risk what I did. The likelihood is we're going to continue to dump. The bigger time frames do not look good at all. I'm just attempting along at the bottom. And maybe I get wrecked. You know what I mean? Class is coming up this Saturday. Thank you for reminding me. If you want to jump on into class, it's right here. There's the class right there. And I should just move this over here so when I do it, it makes sense. There you go. That's awesome. So there is class. Jump on into class today. Hit the QR code at the bottom and jump into class. You'll get me for 3 hours. And that's, people are paying $300 an hour to, and for $150 in there for about 3.5 hours, 9 to 12:30. We'll have an absolute blast. We'll break it down. I'll teach you so much. You'll love it. I get so many great reviews from the class. I know I'm going to get another one this week. I just know it. Someone's going to take the class and love that they did it. A lot of people retake the class even though they can rewatch the recording. Just to get back in tune with that motion, get back in tune with that vibration, get back in tune with that push. I know I would. If Jim Rohn was teaching class, I'd probably take one of his classes once a month. Anyway, as I should even compare myself to Jim Rohn, but the guy was a blessing, man, and he taught me the way. He said, Sam, you got to show up every single day for yourself, or no one is. Let's break down what's happening today on the weekly. Let's look at our most bearish scenario for Bitcoin. Most bearish scenario. So we right now, we did get a little interrupted there with the live trading, but let's look. We've got resistance at 119,978. And please, let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on stream. Thank you for everyone jumping on in. Mr. Butters, Little Time Mining, Matthew Zumbo, Austin Marr, Reliable J, Bill Brown, all the new people coming on in. Watch Television, that's a new name there. Andre Mateo Music, Lemons Graphics, God bless you. Wagon Shorts, and Andy W, Shems, Moo, Fla, Aman, I love you, brother. Rick Ritchie, and all you beautiful people here. Shantai, Angelo Davey, Servando Estrada, Steve-O, Lindsay Huddock. All right, yeah, I think that was Lauren Flippo. Thank you. And shout out to everyone. Underground Crypto, my man. Luke L. Divine. And Biscuits in the house. Sean. And thank you, everyone here. Don't want to spend too much time shouting out. We got work to do. If I could, I would shout out everybody, but blessings on blessings. Thank you. So the most bearish scenario for Bitcoin is a rising wedge that broke to the downside. However, what it does is it creates a beautiful narrative for the shorts to build a massive, massive short pile here, right? I do not short uptrends. I've learned my lesson, and it takes I think you have to be an old man that's traded the trend for a long time to never get switched by the trend. It takes 10 years, I think. After your 10th year, you can kind of start to see it bigger than it was because you've been able to get through even a 7-week time period that would have affected you when you were younger because you didn't see that much price action. See, when they dump it for 7 weeks and you've only seen 3 years of price action, that's pretty crazy. When they dump it for 7 weeks and you've been in the market for 10 years, it's not that crazy. Yeah, time in the market. Because you can see the fluctuations. They don't hurt you that bad because you've been through so many of them. You can kind of make it through them. Isn't that interesting? And when you really think about it, and there's all these subtle nuances that you gain from being in the market over and over again. This is the key. This is why you listen to Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, and you don't just do technical analysis. There is a mental and emotional training to trading that is so, and I teach it here every day, and it's very important. Anyway, let's get back to brass tacks here. So there's a lot of people doing this. There's massive shorts here above this wick. You know there are, and there's people here, all over here. And they're going to build. And the more we do this, the more shorts are going to build. And the more Bitcoin can just, and eat them alive. Again, maybe I'm not, you never know. Maybe we make a right shoulder and we dump. I'm open-minded to anything. Maybe we go to 75,000. It's all possible. But just remember, there's always the other side of the coin, and there's a lot of people leverage trading, and they create a bunch of liquidity either side. That's why Bitcoin goes up, comes back. It's always going to, once it comes down, especially on the weekly, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's usually going to find some liquidity above. Anyway, we never know. That's so the bearish sign, though, is that we could lose 109,000, come back to 100K. Could we lose 100K and drop all the way to 78,000? We could. So the most bearish scenario is this is the beginning of a falling wedge. A rising wedge that's breaking down. We come back up, make some type of right shoulder. That makes a shoulder, head, right shoulder. That dumps right back down somewhere to here. Somehow we lose this, and then we actually, it's the beginning of the bear. I'm not saying this is, I don't want to say I'm on board for this 100%. I go over all possibilities. If someone could clip this out and say, this is what I said, right? This should be like a thing blinking on screen. Just hyper scenario. But anyway, we would go back to the 618 golden pocket, which is somewhere at $55,000 Bitcoin. 786 could be obtained at $39,000. So that's a possibility for Bitcoin. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'd love a perfect up-only scenario where we blow off top. Even then, it looks like the most, the blow off top would be the length of this pole. And we might not even get the whole thing considering 175. Somewhere between 150 and 175. Let me look at the more conservative one is just the length of the base of the triangle. Yeah, and it gives me like 153, 155. I mean, at that point, you would have bearish divs so strong on all the biggest. I don't see how. And the 21 and the 200 would be so far apart. And it makes sense that Galaxy Digital sold 80,000. It looks like this would be at least somewhere 70 to 80% through the rally, in my humble opinion. Could it be the end? It could be. But, I mean, I'm still holding my alts for a bigger alt season. So I'm kind of in so deep that I have to be in for the alt season. So I'm either going to take a beating and go back down, and it is what it is, or I'm going for alt season. So I'm telling you the truth. I'm not playing games. I'm not ready to hit the sell button. I will sell Solana back at like 98 and take my money again, and then I only lose $2,000, but because I got in at 100,000, but still at $100. But my whole thing is this: I'm in for the move. Now, if we start losing this low here on Bitcoin, to me, that's a macro downtrend. I play the trend very heavily. So you have an uptrend. These are higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. You got to just keep a higher low here. You keep a higher low, it's all good for the higher high. You come down here and take out this low, which means you close a weekly candle below this open, which is at $100,963.83. You close a weekly candle below this candle. You can go below the weekly candle. A weekly candle can come down here all at once. It can hit 98 all at once. It better come back up and close. It can leave a wick. But a weekly candle cannot close its body below this yellow line. If it does that, I got to start saying that we're definitely coming down to 77, right? Or at least that 94K. And I would really have to start considering the fact that the run is over, because that is a macro downtrend being broken. Let's take a look, though. So I'm just going over the most bearish scenario here for Bitcoin. We still got a trend line technically intact, right? So it means we could come to the trend line and bounce. So they could make the right shoulder and do some damage, and maybe they do another rising wedge that breaks out. I mean, so, I'm always open-minded. I'm always building. So we could come down here to 102, 250. We could test 100K and still somehow be okay, because that is a trend. But to me, the trend has begun to change to a higher trend. I'd like that trajectory to keep on going. So that's the most bearish scenario. We have some we get pounded. And I've seen this, what I'm seeing right now, I have seen this happen in my lifetime to many assets that have created this rising wedge and have lost the bottom trend line. So I'm just telling you what I've seen. I'm not trying to be rude or scare you. I'm just saying Bitcoin is now showing me I've seen this in Ford. I've seen it on Walmart. I've seen it on Amazon, In my lifetime of trading gold and silver stocks, multiple altcoins throughout my lifetime. Like, they made this beautiful rising wedge. They croaked and they came back to the wedge many, many times. Like 80%, 70% of the time, like rounded up. They've come back down to this key level. So that's your most bearish scenario for Bitcoin. I just want you to kind of understand that it's possible. Now I'm going to give you the most bullish scenario for Bitcoin. I know, right? Most bullish scenario for Bitcoin. Somehow, some way, support and resistance really holds strong. Strong like bull, right? And we bounce here. We make some type of right shoulders. We get into an ascending triangle situation. And we break out somewhere to 141K. This, and we end up bouncing here. Pull your fib from this wick all the way to that top wick right there, and you can see we're pretty dang close to the fib. You go from that little impulse there. We are off the 786, which my friend likes to do a little bit right there. It may not be perfect. I think he would use the candle, but If you take this wick to that wick, you do see we bounce off a 786 local fib there. So, I'm digging for diamonds here for the most bullish scenario that we reverse today. And it's like today would be a great reversal too. Get a lot of shorts off guard on this Tuesday. And if anyone calls a reversal, it could be us. Let's see. So let's go to the 5-day, bearish as heck, touch the 21, but still just looks like it's ready for more downside as far as I'm concerned. Remember, my long is not like, oh, I think we're going to pump for sure. My long is like a Hail Mary throw for could we catch the bottom? Like, why not check and why not try for this support and resistance? They may even stop me out and pump it again. I've seen it all, man. Be ready for everything. That's why I only risk what I risk what I'm willing to lose. I don't like losing a lot of money. And again, don't leverage trade if you don't know what you're doing. Please don't trade at all if you don't know what you're doing. Get an education, understand. I DCA'd into BTC for years. I did swing trades on the stock market for a long, long time. I traded gold and silver mining stocks to get the hang of things before I even traded crypto. I didn't know what crypto was. Gold and silver mining stocks brought me into crypto. See, I started trading gold and silver mining, and I started understanding, and then I started researching the history of the dollar. I watched a documentary called Money Masters that taught me so much. I don't even like. It's crazy. I feel like even when I mention it, it's like, because the stuff in that video is unbelievable, and it'll unlock you from yourself. It'll teach you so much. You don't go watch that video tonight. It's 3 hours long. It'll change the way you think about life forever if you live in America. Anyway, so moving forward. I also watched The Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney. That also changed the way I thought about money. And once I changed the way I thought about money, I was programmed a certain way. So I used to go to the store with my mom, and she used to be like, bread was just 25 cents. So I go and get milk and bread. And she used to tell me that her parents used to send her to the store with just a few quarters, a nickel to get bread, she said. 10 cents to go and get milk, 15 cents for milk. And now it's like, $2. When I was a kid, right? $1, $3 in the 80s, $5. Now it's $8, $6, $7, right? Now the cereal boxes used to be really wide. Like they were like super wide. Now they're like the other side. Now they're this thin, right? Everything has changed. And the price of things have gone up. It doesn't really, it hasn't, So inflation is upon us. I started learning about inflation, and that's what got me into trading. So the cool thing about my trading career is I was just trying to get away from self-inflicted wounds of inflation. They were taking all my money. Every time I made money, I realized they were going to print it to zero. I was a little upset. My mom was a school teacher. In 10 years, she worked for free because they printed, probably maybe in 4 of them, she worked for free because they printed her money to zero. They taxed her on her pension. They taxed her, you know what I mean? It's crazy. They taxed her at the store, tax a school teacher all over the place. Tax her property, tax her car. You know what I'm saying? School teacher gives her life to the kids, tax her left and right. Insanity, right? 110,005 trades starting to go our way here. We're staying above the 200. Now, a little messiness there on TradingView because we got a lot going on, but we can get back to cleaning that up. But we saw this inverted head and shoulder. Then we seem to do an Adam and Eve double bottom here. 1, 2. That's a bit of a double bottom. It's all about the 200 in the 1 minute. We lose that, then we're back to chop again. And we very well may. I don't have a lot of faith in today. It's been back and forth for the last, 36 hours. So right now we have a bit of a flag to watch, though. We could call it a bit of a bullish rectangle for now, or maybe even break out and retest if you're sharp on the angle there, see? Bit of a double bottom, though. I see it as a bullish rectangle if I had to make a move on it. All about the staying above that 200. I know, and the 1 minute has a lot to do with the day. I know you don't think so. It can be chopped mixed signals if you don't know how to read it. It all depends. You got to understand. So we're back to the 3-day chart. Can we get a tweezer bottom dig in here? Last time we got the move up. It would be awesome. Did we find the bottom today here on a Tuesday? Is there just enough people going against the trade right now that, remember, emotional people, they trade against the trend. So they would start opening up shorts now because they're scared. Agreed, right? So that when the fear is heavy, it's more opportune to be in the long. So where's the fear? We haven't seen the fear at 48 in a long time. Like, that's nice. And that's why I opened up and bought more Bitcoin. And, again, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. You do whatever makes you happy, but it's a great place to buy BTC. You see what I'm saying? So always make sure you're watching closely here everything that's going on. $48 for Bitcoin, $48 on the fear and greed. That tells me that it could be a pretty advantageous place to open up a long. Okay? Again, I'm not risking all the beans. We can get up here, find another way, then we can make a right shoulder. There could be more confirmation in the weeks ahead. That can give me a far less riskier trade. Then we can go 5,000 for 15 or, 8,000 for 24, and we can really open it up. But right now, I'm just going to dip my toes in the water here at 110,000 and see if we get this bounce for a Bitcoin. No hidden bullish, nothing that I'm usually going for, too. It's a little irregular for me, but there's something in my trader instinct here. And we'll see. 12-hour looks interesting. 8-hour looks like it's already made the tweezer bottom, and it's tempting to create a bullish pin bar there. 4-hour also has a bullish engulfing candle if it can close in 1 hour. Let's see what happens. Not amazing, but at least it's better than nothing. It's attempting to dig out of here. And some definitely strange price action, even the way it's kind of formed here. So a little bullish div as this does swing to the upside, but price is flowing hard down. So that's bullish divergence. And we called it here on the indicator too, and it did give the pump. Funny, it found it, but then boom. Funny how it could see what was going to happen to Jerome before it happened, right? Rejection by the 200 moving average on the 4-hour and the 2-hour. Very interesting. And so here we kind of stand to the 1-hour time frame, which to me is still like looking pretty bearish. Like still in a bear flag, likely to dump. So my long hedge looks sketchy on the 1-hour, I'll tell you that. So they're doing a dang good job of making it look bearish as heck, because that looks like a short flag. Maybe I could make the same trade, right? 500 for whatever, and I guess I would just break even if we hit here. I hedge it, right? And I go from there, but. So let's see what happens. This looks bearish to me, like you're overbought on the stochastics. RSI's okay, though. But yeah, I'm really not a fan. And for me, you got to get back above the resistance there at 110.9, 111,000. Yeah, it's pretty, right there. It's a pretty low risk trade, 3.7 risk reward ratio. Target takes you to 107. Don't even have to get that low. BOOKMAP suggests that's exactly where you're going. When you look at all the liquidity, it says 107.9. BOOKMAP's in the description below. It shows you where people's liquidation levels are on the market, where they're going to have to buy Bitcoin, right, on the order book. 108,000 there for Bitcoin. So this is saying there's going to be a $2,000 drop. This is also a bear flag. So why did I take the long? Defying gravity here. And the 1-hour the 1-hour to me doesn't look amazing. I got to be honest. 15-minute, and then it brings us back to the complex that I found and where we are on the 1-hour, right? And so you can see there's so much kind of riding on this flag here. This breaks out, boom. I'll probably end up getting out somewhere around there if that plays out, but it's looking good. Now, this is my model. We're touching the 21 above the 200. I don't know why, but this happens more than it doesn't. So it's telling me that maybe somehow, some way, we defy that 1-hour bear flag. So Sam, who longs the bear flag, right? I mean, and Master Friend is spitting out his lemon water right now. It's funny because he's always like, the guy does it again, man. Did you long the bear flag with Lifer? I'll trade correct every day until the right day, and then correct, and then trade against the the probability on the right moment. How? I don't know. It just, and again, maybe I'll be wrong. I don't want to talk ish before it happens, but it's happened before, and we kind of laugh about it. You get trader instinct from being in the game for a long period of time, and he'll just kind of, something will tell you what to do. And it's not feeling. I'm not your feeling. You're going on information and data. It's like you've seen it before. You've been down that road. So we're watching the 1 minute yet again here on this channel, which is fun. But we took you from the weekly. It's not like we sit on the 1 minute all the time. We show you the bigger time frames. We talk about the weekly twice, 3 times a day here in the trading group on the channel. And we break it down for you all the time. So shout out to everybody here. Thank you for being amazing and making this show awesome. Without your time, there is no show. So thank you for your most precious asset, which is your time. Shout out to the 1,631 beautiful souls here. 451 likes, $26 in chat revenue. Thank you so much. So we covered a lot of technical analysis today. We showed inverted head and shoulder. We talked about tight moving averages. We talked about using the 200 moving average in bigger time frames when things get a little tough, right? We opened up a live trade in front of you. It's so far up $95, 8%, $100 now, 105. We may be even getting the breakout here. We're going to show you yet another inverted head and shoulder. You got the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder there too as well for Bitcoin. And now you got the flag, the 21 above the 200. We talked about that. We talked about the VRVB, how to add it for free on your, on your week's account here. So it's been an awesome, productive day. I appreciate everyone that's making it as such. It's 11:04. We've done great with BTC today. We seem to be calling it correctly so far. I don't know if that's going to be continued, so I never like to count my chickens before they hatch. Usually it's when something shady goes down, so I want to just be blessed and humble. But so far, so good here for 110,005. We may have caught this bottom yet again like we do. We may have caught the daily bottom here, folks, for BTC. How do we do it every time? It's relentless, just showing up. I may not even be the best trader. Just by being consistent, the trades will go better for me over time. I learned that trading is about being consistent as much as it is about knowing the sauce. You got to know your sauce, and then you got to be consistent. If you just know the sauce and you're not consistent, trading won't work. And if you're just consistent and you don't know the sauce, you might do better, though, than someone that doesn't know the sauce and isn't consistent. I believe consistency is the king of all kings because it'll lead you to greatness. If you just keep showing up every day, no matter how you feel about it. Discipline is doing something no matter how you feel. I woke up today and worked out. Did I feel like it? Maybe. Today I kind of did. I really wanted to work out. But not every day. But today I felt, ready for the task. And I feel really amped up and ready to go. I know the workout gave me more energy. I know it made me bring more to the table here on the live stream. It gave me more vibrance for the stream, which gives you more value to the stream. So working out makes the stream better. And so I always preach working out. It's the first thing you can do in the morning. You can check off the accomplishment sheet and say, I did that. And you can feel good about yourself. It's amazing. And you can build on that endorphin. See, that's what we're always doing. We're building on endorphins. Good trades come from that. Oh, I feel good about myself. I worked out. Maybe I can find another better trade today. Maybe I can work at a new strategy. I believe in myself. You build, you believe in, I'm talking, you say that to yourself. I believe in myself. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? You believe in yourself. It's about your movement here. I want to bring that energy up to a higher level for you. We all want to vibrate high, baby, and change the world with that vibration. Everyone thinks when you're like the best version of yourself, it's conceited. It's not. You're helping others because you're pushing people to limits they never thought they could reach. You're making them say, hey, if he can get there, then why can't I? You're basically like leading the path. You're saying, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And you're basically giving people no excuses either. Like, if he has no excuses and he made it through, then I got no excuses to why I can't live the life of my dreams. Why can't I live the life of my dreams? Why can't I create the job that I want to live? Or build the business that I believe in? You can. It's all waiting for you. You live in a video game. It's time to take control of reality through your subconscious mind. You've got this. You can. You will. You are the best. Through working out, you will be able to do neuroplasticity and begin to reprogram your brain. Listen to Jim Rohn, listen to me, and we'll reprogram you to be the best version of yourself every single day. So Bitcoin, we're watching it kind of struggle here on the 1 minute, back and forth, and this is kind of how we've been. Our next big obstacle is to get above, we're above the 5 minute 200 with the 21. So this is what I was saying, wait for this patiently. This would be the next bigger trade with the stop below the 5 minute 200 moving average. Wow, breaching the 7. So we want to make sure we get a clean breach of the 7. And in the next hour or two, the 21-day moving average is crossing the yellow line on the 7. Otherwise, if we move back down, the bear flag on the 1 hour is taking over, and it's likely that we get a rejection. This was just a quick liquidity grab to suck late longs into the bottom. So I could see both things happening. I took a shot, but that doesn't mean I know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. Right now, it does look more likely we're going to take the dump based on BOOKMAP and the 1 hour time frame, but we'll see. We will see as we battle through the 5 minute and the 200 moving average here. As long as the 5-minute can stay above the 200, there's a chance the bulls could take control. I don't make the rules. I just tell you about them. Let's break down what's happening on the bigger picture here on CoinMarketCap. Shout out to my lovers of life and everybody out here that's jumping on into the stream. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you so much for your viewership and your time. Hope you're getting a lot of value out of the stream. And, let us know in the comments if there's anything else we could do to make it hot. Something you want to see. Okay. A lot of good juicy stuff coming out here today too. Wow, it's crazy. All right, yeah. All right, so bigger companies buying Bitcoin. SharpLink adds 252 million ETH last week. Or adding to ETH. 200 million war chests left. They continue to bang into ETH. SharpLink said they were going to, remember, they say that thing, they're going to buy so much Ethereum. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And now ETH is becoming an institutional supportive asset, which is pretty cool. Pendle back in the game. I mean, DeFi is up in the last week 10%. People are getting back into DeFi. Morpho, which I went over back in the day. I'd like to kind of see where that project's end up heading. It's been a long time watching Morpho. Hyperliquid is so strong. We talked about it together, up 10%. I'm in this big trade. We're going for it. And Aerodrome holding 135 amidst all the ups and downs. Pretty awesome for Aero. So all coins are shrugging off this Bitcoin dip, specifically Chainlink, Aero, and Hyperliquid. Ondo okay, but not really. It can't really hold a buck, right? ENA in and out. But the strongest coins really are the ones I just talked about. And I really, I've been building positions. BitTensor barely kind of dwindling. It's hanging on. Everything else, even Farcoin, never really able to hold that $92 level. Jupe, we like to see Jupe back at $1. Render's all right, actually. Render's been somewhat strong, too, compared to the rest of the market. Solana's been beautiful. Cardano's been in. Say's been all right. Swee's been okay. So there has been some strong coins. Virtual getting a little bit of a pump today, too. And Atom really, it just seems like it's bottomed at 449. 440. I don't think it can go much lower. It's been like Caspa's still struggling to get to 10 cents again, which is, is what it is. And Cake has been strong at 261. So we're still in those bigger patterns that we talked about on Total 3. We still got some hope here. And watch, there'll be a massive short squeeze, and we'll be like, Sammy did it again. Then every day hit a never quitter. Somehow, some way, he defied the odds, longed the bear flag on the 1 hour, and took it home. And that's why, there's a chance that I could be getting, the best technical analysis of 2025 next year in Las Vegas. And thank you for everyone that voted for me. We were like two votes away from Influencer of the Year. So God bless everyone. Thank you there. And just really appreciate it. And we were basically had more votes than almost any really big channel in multiple places. So we dominated. And honestly, it's not really about that. It's about hanging out with you guys and trading. So as much as I love that stuff, it can be somewhat distracting, but I don't want to say, I don't want to be unappreciative. So it's just my work ethic and going live every day is really what makes it happen. That's all I want to say. But I'm blessed for all the recognition and being able to kind of get recognized. It means a lot, So it may not be about all the likes and the views, but to me, it means a lot to get recognized for something that you're grinding at every single day. So that's why I thought the awards mean a lot, because a lot of people work really hard at this and there's no real recognition for it. Those awards are a time for people to get together and say, hey, man, we're all helping the space move together in some way. Micro channels, bigger channels, all of us together. Watching this flag, looking a little sketchy, right? Definitely high risk, high reward today. And if anything, I do see a bear flag on the 1 hour. It doesn't look amazing. I'm being honest with you. I think I'm taking a 50-50 trade. I don't know if they're it's not really 60-40. The risk is very high that I don't win. Just remember that. I'm willing to take a risk, though. Okay, Litecoin has been strong, too. And Aave just kind of came up a little bit. 18% in the last week, too, as well. So Aave's been strong. So that's kind of what you're seeing. And then there's some newer coins on the radar that I wanted to go over. We went over Lombard yesterday. I spent a lot of time just grazing. Looking, Towns keeps coming up. Bioprotocol has been so hot. Succinct Proof is another one out there. Sapient. Somia Network keeps coming on my radar. It's like ding, 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 ding. Succinct Proof again. And these are, look, this is the most searched coins, most visited coins. So when you see them on both, it's great. Overtake. $10 million market cap. Very small. Bioprotocol. SWI. Almanac. Right? World Liberty Financial coming out eventually. Blockchain Arbitrum. Arbitrum's been back around too. Layer Zero keeps kind of coming up as well. And Solana. I've got a big Solana chart. Might as well talk about it. There probably isn't a person here that doesn't want to see the Sol chart and see what's going on with Sol. So this is kind of what we're seeing for Sol. It's above the 200. It can do that. It can even come in double bottom off 154. So be it. My idea is stop loss is super low. Entry somewhere here. Still, it's a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You can even bring that up to there. Stop loss at about 146. Yeah, 146. Could you get to 448 here on Solana? So this is what I see happening for Sol. It just looks more bullish. The bears to me, higher lows. Again, could it take a turn for the worst and dump all the way back down to 93? Anything could happen. I'm open-minded. Maybe double bottom down there. It could. It's cryptocurrency. I know I'm in a high-risk situation where it's heavy volatile and, a politician, Trump could sneeze and something could happen. So we'll see. But it's been pro-crypto so far. Things have been going our way. We'll see what happens. You never know. I'm open-minded, though. You never know. So, Solana, that's your Sol chart, though. On the bigger time frame, I wouldn't really get into anything too small. You might kind of get phased out or get, scared out. I'd look at the daily and kind of stay strong on what I'm looking at here. Bitcoin struggling to hold position. Still big red wanting us at 108. Screaming the dump is coming. And we just keep the bulls haven't done a good job. They got rejected by 110.5 now twice. 110.5 is a key level now of resistance that we just can't seem to get back above. We barely got above it here, lost it. Resistance, almost made it. Resistance. So key levels, we're down 60. $49 now in the trade. And it's been sideways for about an hour, right? So we'll see. Can you, right? Follow me on x.com. I'd greatly appreciate that. At CryptoLifer33. Here we're posting every single day when we go live, what's happening, information, and even chart updates that parallel with what I've been saying and going over on the live. Jump on in today to get more insight on that Twitter account because it's going to blow your mind. Solana. Interesting times to be alive for Sol. Another thing in the news coming at you is Greece tightens their rules for crypto businesses as firms brace for a 24% tax on services. And the Greek government coming for that money because they need it, right? That's probably what's going on. Sad to say. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's what happens when they see crypto's hot. They want a piece. When they're not hot and they don't care, they don't want a piece. It's a very, love and hate relationship. Funny, Citibank warns stablecoin interest payments could drain bank deposits like the 1980s. Yeah, everyone will go and get their stablecoin. It's already doing it. It's over. He doesn't realize that's what's supposed to happen. Like, that's the point. Right? But it's kind of scary. It's like, yeah, well, you should have been in crypto in the first place, The bank deposits that they don't have, remember that. So keep your tether that's yours. They can freeze tether, though, so be careful. It is somewhat centralized in a way, but... So he warned stable interest payments could drain bank deposits like the 1980s crisis as banking groups lobby to close a Genius Act loophole. So they want to, do something to stop that from happening, I mean, the banks are trying to basically change the law to stop innovation from taking them out. Isn't that crazy? That's like if there was a newer, faster car and your car wasn't as fast, and you basically, we got to go run and lobby so that car can't come out because... So it's cheaper to use Tether and a DeFi service. It's faster. You don't have to go to the bank. You can do it 7 days a week. They close sometimes. You know, their websites are shanky. A lot of them you get an email, oh, your name may have been, compromised, all this craziness. You don't have to use a name and number at all when you use DeFi. You just click it on a wallet. Like, no one has to know your identity. It's really nice. You see what I'm saying? So it's that's the future. In the future, you should not have to think about how archaic this is. Your name and all this information is on your credit card. You hand it to somebody who takes it. And then they take your CVC, like, at the store. They look at that little number in the back. They could go buy something on Amazon for crying out loud with your credit card. You know what I'm saying? There are some fail safes here and there, but for the most part, I mean, you're giving away they know just because you shop at a merchant, they shouldn't know your address. You know what I'm saying? Someone who they pay minimum wage to run a cashier should not be able to look up my address somehow through a computer just because I shop somewhere. And they're able to see that, what credit card I use. It's just crazy, right? It's very archaic. It doesn't make sense. It gives up so much of your information and your freedom every time you work with a merchant online. Eventually, it's going to be, and I thought it would have been here by now because 5 years ago, but eventually it's going to be, you're going to have a wallet, and your wallet's going to be you. That's going to identify you somehow, and you're going to be able to click through the internet, load up your wallet, and you don't even have to identify it. It could just be your wallet, whatever one you made, and you can go to store, click the wallet, and buy the items, I guess shipping to you, they'll know your address. I guess it would be cool if there was an encrypted way for your address to go there without anyone seeing it. Like an AI sees it, but no one else does through encryption. Anyway, like completely privacy merchant client experience. But they don't. They want your information. They want to sell your address, your name, and all. They want as much information as they can so they can then monetize that on the back end. All right? I do not do that. But it's crazy. 110,250 here for Bitcoin. Getting very tight inside the channel above the 200. I like Soul, baby. And this long got a monster bounce here. Back into good graces off the 200 moving average. It lost it, but got back in the green. We'll see. This is starting to get interesting. Let me show you the bigger picture item that I'm looking at now. And you probably see it because you've got lifer vision. So who am I? Who am I fooling? You've already made this pattern and you've been sitting there watching it before me. I know you have. Because you're spot on. So double bottom pump. Hit the target. Now after the target gets hit, they come and raid the double bottom for anyone late longs. That's why you sell 1 minute swings, right? Look, there's your double bottom. There's your raid. Beautiful master friend raid. Higher low off the 200 moving average bounce. Pull the fib. Money printer, 786 bounce. Pretty dang close, right? Look at that. Bing. Back above the 200 moving average. Getting tight. Can this flag break us out? This is now a bit of a symmetrical triangle that could go either way. And I tell you what, it looks like it could boom down to 109,000. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Bitcoin's at 109. I'm worried, everybody. I don't know what to do. Buy more. There's a voice in my head that says, buy more, you little scaredy cat. And stop whining. This is the fear got you here in the first place. You use that fear to keep moving, Sammy, because every time you've seen blood in the streets, you've been able to buy a bag that's been able to take you to the moon. I buy blood in these streets. I can't tell you what to do. I am not a financial advisor. Like I say, I do, should we take it as financial advice? But I definitely can't buy the green. I'm here every single day. 1,748 days, right? If I'm correct here, if I remember from yesterday's live stream, am I correct? 38, sorry, off by a number. So tightness here on the channel, tightness here inside this pattern, it's actually getting pretty fun. And now we have what could possibly be looked at as a semi cup and handy to the upside. Sammy cup and handy to the upside. I need to get like those old, sound effects. Boom, boom, boom. Bah. Mike Tyson's knockout. So, wow, 111,006 makes me want to get a little frisky here. As Bitcoin's starting to show some type of consolidation that could propel us further to the upside. BTC, baby. Yeah. Let's take a look at your super chats. Let's take a look at the chat. I want to interact with the chat now. This is our time to chill, have some fun, and see what's cracking. And let me make sure I get the right chat and everybody out here. Let's go to live chat. I don't know what the top chat is for. Sir, look at the CME gap. In my opinion, the biggest in history. It is one of the biggest in history. And we looked at it yesterday. It's really big above us. How do you look at the CME, everybody? Go to Bitcoin USD. Go down about 6 to the CME. We went over this yesterday on the 4-hour time frame. I think we could see it. Yeah. And there is the gap. You can clearly see that candle stops to that candle stops. There's a huge gap. You got to close the gap on the right side of the gap. And there is an enormous gap there all the way back to 116,000. Suggests we could go bling and eat that gap alive. Very oversold there on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, it looks good to me. Sam is wearing pajama pants like Kevin O'Leary. I am not. I am wearing beautiful khaki pants. I know you just want to see my pants, so here we go. Pant cam. I'm wearing J. Crew chinos. Absolutely lovely. If you'd like a pair, let me know. No, but they're the best pants you could buy. They're so soft. 100% cotton, I believe. Really nice. Mr. Price, I'm wondering if you ever miss a stream. I don't think so. As long as God has my back, I'm going to keep pushing with God. God, thank you for having me here every day. I'm going to keep preaching about God every single day and how God is the answer to my life. Some say, there wasn't even a name for it. It's a vibrational energy that knows all. It's everything. It's the unending. It's the all-knowing, the unending, the being inside, the connection to a higher frequency that knows you and knows your path and where you're going and somehow has guided you on a journey of greatness if you've listened. It hasn't always been easy. There's been tough times, but those tough times have created a gem-like frequency that has made the vision of life to be beautiful. I can see through a sharper lens now after the muddied waters I had been in my life. Let's take a look at CRO here. Crow from a beautiful patron. Thank you for the super chat. Let's take a look at Crow USDT. Shout out to Lakochi Coker, everybody. Everybody Lakochi. Hardest working man in show business, never misses a stream, always grinding, always putting in the work. So we talked about Crow right here. Stops below this key area. Usually there's a line here. I don't know why there was no line. Maybe it got deleted. But stops below this. See how we had a double bottom? And wow, this thing plowed to the upside on a wick. Almost hit the target. Super high pump. I saw it going to 22 cents. Crow's now sitting heavy at 19. And Crow on a mission, man, ever since that low at 8. Ripping for a double up and more. So now what, right? You're like, I got into Crow, now what? Never hit those stops below. Shout out to anyone that did take that screenshot, Sean, because I deleted it now, and I don't want to have to go grab it again. It's over. 4-hour pumped away for the 21-day moving average tells me that is trouble in paradise if I was in alone. And if you're going to get like a really good pump, like something like this has to occur. If Bitcoin gets a big move, I guess it'll affect everything, and this might continue to grind. But do know that your 4-hour has to come back to the 21-day moving average. It's, So I would flag out the 5 to the 15, see how it goes, but be more ready for a pullback back somewhere to the 4-hour or sideways price action. Sammy, I lost my best friends to cancer this weekend, and your words and prayers are helping me. Shout out to Gary C, man. Everyone, let's pray for Gary and his lost friend. I know it's not what everyone wants. They want the charts, but a moment for Gary. Gary, we love you. We know loss is horrible. I hope the loss of your friend brings you closer to God, not further away. We don't know why these things happen to our friends, young, old, or whoever they are. Sometimes it seems like a young friend is taken and we don't understand. We may never not always fully understand the reasons that things are going on, but we must have faith that God is, moving through a bigger picture, a bigger lens, and that everything is moving in the universe for a greater good. Amen. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. May he rest in peace, brother. And if you want to say his name, may he be remembered. I promise you, Sam, every time I watch you, I just feel better about everything. Like I don't trust or believe many people, but the way you say things makes me believe you, and I appreciate that. Well, you don't have to believe me. You got to believe yourself, man. That's all. If you believe in yourself, then the good things in your life will be good. I'll be good because I'm in your life. Because you know that you only attract greatness. So only greatness will come into your life. Once you have the right lens, then everything makes sense, my friend. You're just in the right place. You're vibrating high, man. And it's you. You're doing the work. So God bless you. Thank you. So people want to know what's happening to Ethereum. I see this bit of a rising wedge here, kind of playing games. I'm just cleaning up this old. So this is what I'm seeing for ETH. Let's do our top debt analysis. All right, so ETH had a trend line that it abandoned but got back above. So we can give up on any ideas that then it kind of had this going on. Now, it is showing some signs of an inverted head and shoulder, is it not? It is a little high, but it could still make a right shoulder and break out. Maybe even cup on this, on the cusp. So let's see what's happening now for Ethereum. Definitely $4,000 support. But then, let's see, it came right to this exact resistance. And it broke through. I mean, it made the higher resistance above the candles. So it got a little bit of support here because this is where the candles closed right here on Ethereum. You see? 46.52. So now what for Ethereum? Well, you're a little far away for the 21 on the weekly. Whenever I've seen an asset that far away, it either has to come back down for the retest, which is fine. It has to consolidate. Very rarely does it continue to pump. So I just don't see a continuation for the alts just yet. It's telling me that there could be, this is weird, but it could be a 6 to 7 week process here, somewhere into late November before ETH begins to really pump again. Now, it could pump right back up to 5,000, 4,800. And people get a little excited, but it's that to me isn't realistic as well either. We have some bearish div on Ethereum overall with an uptrend to a downtrend. 5-day chart. We want to see the 5-day chart tell us it's going to take the ladder right? But it does tell me there's some sideways price action happening somewhere maybe till October 18th. And we could even go to a little lower. I could be wrong, but I've been studying this type of price action for a while. Now, let's take a look at our daily. Our daily has bearish div and curving down. Again, though, if Bitcoin has a monster day somehow and fights off the bears, which it looks like it's now not doing, it's hit 110.5 now twice, only to get slaughtered yet again. Now it's losing this trend line and the 200 moving average, which is kind of sad. We're likely to get stopped down now. Look at that. So tough day here for Bitcoin. The bot's got to bail me out now. The bot better win. Pay for my losses. You know what I'm saying? Little AI, sweaty AI bot. Never sleeps. So we want to see if this can hold us down here. There's a chance that you get this and you pump. That to me your most bullish scenario, and it only takes about a week, or 2 weeks, September 6th. I'll be careful. So I see sideways price action for Ethereum, which might let some of the smaller alts pump. You know what I'm saying? 110,000 is a battle here for Bitcoin. We're sideways all day long, baby. Daylight coming. We want to go home. And that level there at 108,000 for Bitcoin too. People are watching very, very closely. So a lot of longs waiting to get in. A lot of limit orders at 108, 107. A lot of people have no clue, don't believe that I've longed, the bottom is not in at all. So I'm not saying it is or not. They don't think it is for sure. So someone asked for dark on Sol. I'm going to look at it for a second, but if I don't like what I see, I'm not really going to be looking at it. And that's dark for Sol. There's a few. There's Dark Eclipse. There's Dark Star. Oh, no. I don't know. This one's in the dumps. I'm all set. And I think this one's a little bigger. Dark Eclipse. Again, I'm all set. They both look like horrible projects in the dumps. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm all set. Yeah, thank you. Let's take a look at BERA chain here and see what's happening. What? Oh, they shouldn't have queued that. Guys, don't do that. My team queuing that stuff. There's nobody here, it's just me. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being here. So let's take a look. BERA chain finally getting back in the mix again. Remember when BERA chain first came out, we had some fun with it. And I was just kind of useless. Didn't pay attention to it for a while. The chain got quiet. And hey, now they're back to getting in, back to getting some movement. And I remember I turned on the BERA chain faucet like years ago when you could first do it. I might even have some BERA chain waiting for me. BERA chain could head to about $4, $3.96. It gets back above $2.75 and gets a big break back to about $3.92. BERA chain. And can it get tight, make the breakout, and boom to the upside? BERA. So, wow. A lot going on here today for BERA chain. Insane. Insane. Wow. So, yeah, that looks interesting to me. It does look like it could take some time. A little overbought on the daily and a little high, but not, I'd be watching some smaller time frames for BERA and just keeping it on the radar. I like that 30-minute above the 21 with the 200. If Bitcoin somehow sustains a move here, it's going to thrust the alts up. See, this is the crazy thing about alt season and untrading right now. Oh, we got the bagger, though. They bagged us. And that could even be a scoop-a-loop. But I was trading one thing and one thing only. It is what it is. Dang you, BTC. They got me today. But that's okay. It may not. It looks like it's going to probably dump now. So that's what you want. You want to be invalidated by your thesis. And it's also choppy. It's been very hard to trade again the last 2-3 days. They're back to extreme chop. I can't seem to get a win as quickly on the smaller time frame. So my system of the smaller scalps, I kind of waited out. I got bagged, man, like that quickly. So horrible. So whack. Super chat, GME on the new NI. Let's take a look at GME. GameStop Corp. Last time we looked at it, we were saying, hey, can it make a flag above? It did not. It got pummeled. It's crazy. There's a lot. I wouldn't trade GameStop because there's just too much, like, it's a stamp of approval for someone. It's a battle for the other institution. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that have a personal vendetta to stomp it out. And if they got money to burn, they might just use it to short the, To me, it's got too much energy around it that has nothing to do with me. So I wouldn't touch this thing. It's a cult classic now because of Roaring Kitty. You got all these people that still trade it. It does give it volume, and it does, and they say they're buying more Bitcoin. That's all gravy. But, our super chat's enabled. For some reason, it's not allowing me. It happens to me sometimes. Could be a VPN. Our ECC on Sol, we've looked at that numerous times. Ivan Rogue, thank you. We'll look back at it again. Possible double bottom for GME. You see how it's like, but again, like just not a strong chart. Sideways for days. It's holding above the 200 moving average, but it looks like an M pattern. It could dump somewhere back down to 990. The chart doesn't look strong. It's holding support. That's the one good thing. Right at about 22. But I don't know. To me, it almost looks like a descending triangle, right? Like if I had to do something to it, that looks like a descender that could break the length of the base. Yeah, it looks like it could dump. You almost got a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder too. It looks bearish to me. I could be wrong. They're buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps. It starts to rip. And that's the bottom you're buying. It is a intense support. So you are buying support, but don't be surprised if it goes lower. That's all. I wouldn't touch that thing. Anyway, that's me. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say to you should be taken as financial advice. They asked about Pepe yesterday. We talked about it. All really depends on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Pepe really depends on ETH. When ETH does well, Pepe starts to wake up. I've seen it many times. Even though it's a Solana chart, I just can't, Because when ETH pumps, the altcoins pump, Solana starts to do damage. To me, like Pepe's in a falling wedge now, back where it's been in many times. You can even pull a fib here, and it's just sitting at that like 786. I guess if you like Pepe, it's a place to DCA in. I think it's a good coin. And remember we did that really deep down analysis on Pepe and said it could go to maybe 20 billion market cap, but like cup and handle, possibly higher low, 786. You're not buying the top, but it's just telling us it's going to take its time here before it starts to make a bigger move. Could be the last low buy right there before a rip. It depends on BTC. As it really just lost the 200, decided to dump Peasy. So there you have it, folks. They took me out. Bear chain, I'm down with, yeah. Thank you. God bless you, man. Appreciate you. PONKE, please, brother. Yeah. Thank you. How about Polkadot? Let's take a look at PONKE. PONKE, USDT on MEXC. Thank you, Ivan Roke. PONKE. I actually hold this coin long term like a meme, but it got buried like every meme, right? Since the very beginning buys. Now, is it going to continue to pump? Honestly, it's hard to tell. A lot of altcoins are struggling right now, specifically some meme coins. And you got to get Bitcoin back in the good graces. As Bitcoin struggles, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Your coin will struggle. A bit of a double bottom. This is the exact low. If you believe in this coin, great place to DCA, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but it is what it is. But it also making what looks to me, it's either an Adam and Eve double bottom that's got to play out over time, or you could squiggle into a descending and even make another double bottom lower here. It's in a downtrend, attempting to hold this higher low. I don't know. It doesn't look healthy to be. It's an aggressive buy right now for the bounce. Like, you have to get the bounce. I never like to buy things that have to do it. I like to see like, oh, we're tightening a channel. We could stay in that for a little bit and pump. I don't think we have to bounce on this area. If we don't bounce in this area, it's over. You know what I'm saying? I that's always very tough. So let's take a look at gold. You could trade gold on BTCC, which is pretty cool. Let's take a look at gold. And the NASDAQ, look, the NASDAQ hit a bear flag. The NASDAQ looking like it's going to break further to the downside. So my original bear flag idea this morning, it just looks like the NASDAQ's going to take a nasty dump. Market's been tough to gauge lately, though. We're at a place where they're playing with a possible mid-bottom, and they could flex it either way. My system and instincts tell me the probabilities are just a treachery right now. Hi, Sam. Excuse my ignorance, but if someone sells 1 million in Bitcoin, isn't there someone buying the order part of it? Where does that rest go? It could be a market maker, right? It could be OTC. It could be an exchange. Yeah. Palantir stock looks nice. Could you take a look at it? Let's take a look at Palantir after we take a look at gold here. And I just look at gold here. And yeah, gold's been in a tight channel. We've talked about gold for a long time and trading gold in this flag. The dollar's getting beat down. We could see gold continuing to go up $3,800 an ounce. And gold's not doing what Bitcoin's doing. Gold's in a beautiful bull flag. And we've tracked it so far, and we've been saying this every week too. We go over gold on the macro technical analysis video. And we talk about how gold's on track to go up to $3,800 an ounce. Nice move for gold on the way. Yep. Hi, Sam. Excuse my ignorance, but if someone's... Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin needs to buy now. I don't know what that means. NMR, Sammy, can you check, please? Thank you. Spark on Solana. Let's take a look. Bitcoin taking the beat down, losing the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. And again, that's what I was saying. Like, should basically take my, but it did look pretty nice. So the 5-minute after a long consolidation. But again, that's a symmetrical triangle. They usually do break down. So once it got chubby, you kind of ruin the mood. Didn't make sense. That doesn't. Oh man. Yeah, the bear flag of the 1 hour looks like it's about to dump in our face to the downside here. And it's like, do you switch short and clean it up today and make it happen, right? Looks like the daily's not going to be able to hold that. I got to say, I started the day saying it looks nasty. The stochastics are high. We're touching the 21. And I did get I played games a little bit with the smaller time frames. That happens sometimes. Can we get a breakdown somewhere to 106,005? It looks like we could. And BOOKMAP's also telling us 108,000 and lower. So my original idea, I guess stick with your original idea, right? My original idea was to short the market this morning. I'd still be in the short, just sitting there, probably flat after all the ups and downs, but. And I saw this kind of head and shoulders short. Again, I could see them rip it up, and it's kind of, the market has been treachery the last, couple of days. After the liquidation, it usually takes a week for the probabilities to get back in alignment because we got so much crazy volume left and right. Uniswap, please. Europe call. I don't know what that means. God bless you, though. Defense stocks, energy, artificial intelligence, software, chips, data storage. Yeah. Thanks for being here these times. It's great to be in a community. God bless you, Rave Song Records. You're looking at Bitcoin, not the NASDAQ. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you're right. Appreciate that, man. But again, I'm going to show you that it looks exactly the same, right? It should. Maybe I'm wrong, but you'll probably see this same bear flag, right? A little better. You're right, man. Thank you. Yeah, it looks a little better. It's kind of in this like wacky. Thank you for saying that, man. NASDAQ, could we get to about, 24,070? That's got the wing that Bitcoin had this morning. Bit of a double bottom with the lower low, though. Just looks sketchy, right? Did get the bounce. Got a trend line there. The NASDAQ looks so sketchy, too. Can we draw some trend lines at the 50-minute for Bitcoin tracking this push down? Thanks for being family friendly to where we can play this over the work speaker. Cheers. Shout out to everybody here at work with Sirius. We love you. We appreciate you. If you care to listen, that's amazing. And join the Crypto Lifer live stream every single day here for TA and mental training. God bless you for jumping on in and being amazing. And I need a sip of water. It is getting thirsty. What a day, man. Yeah, sketch down both ways for that 108. Nas tomorrow, not trading Jack today. Kimu, thanks for being, appreciate you. Take a 2 to 5x long MXC for Wi-Fi. It's going to pump and numb just like the Trump token. It might, but I don't do what people tell me to do. So God bless you, man. I hope you do well. I hope it works out. Let's take a look at the fan funding here and see what's happening today. Shout out to Lift99. Thank you. Starting to see hate articles against GME and NSE. How the chart is looking at you. Will you get any love from the expected rate cuts? Looks pretty whack to me. Underground Crypto. God bless you. ETH when you get a chance. Thank you. Blockchain Poodles. Crow is doing what you said it would do. Spot on. You're a great mentor. Much love. Thank you, Blockchain Poodles. God bless you, brother. Can you look at Crow, please? Thank you for all you do. We did. Thank you. 2 people on that Crow. Dark on Soul. Heaven Dex. Thank you. BERA Chain TA, please. Thank you. Underground, another one. Can we look at PEPE for the lifers? God bless you. Thank you, James Jones. RECC on Soul. PONKE. We'll look at Rec and PONKE. And Palantir. Looks nice. Let's take a look at Palantir on the NASDAQ. Wow, that thing has just been on an absolute tear, right? It's like one of those things you're scared to buy because if you didn't get in, it's just ripping your face off, right? Wow, 19 all the way to 187 since March Unbelievable. So there's been some big winners even in the markets. I mean, you have this previous resistance, which became support. Got to look at it on the weekly. The weekly's not far for the 21, which is very interesting, telling me that this might have, you know, maybe like a 10-week sideways price action, and then it may begin to rip again. Could double top, make a head and shoulder. We're not sure. You know, it's a little early to tell, but 3-day chart touching the 21. I'd be looking for a bounce here. And then some type of consolidation. It may be smaller. It may take less time. This thing looks like it may be holding the level it's at and just go sideways for a while before a bigger pump. And I will jump into that NASDAQ here for a second. So the last time we went over the NASDAQ was the macro analysis video on Friday, right? I believe. And I said, you know, look for it to get a bit of a bounce here and go sideways off the bottom of this trend line. That's what we said on Friday right here. And it looks like, you know, we got a pump. Or Friday? No, we got that crazy pump Friday. We're in the flag here. And that's what we were looking for. Some type of flag sideways and then a move back up. And then just really, like, I don't know exactly how it's going to go. But just some type of price consolidation here. And a bigger move up eventually to the upside. So I'm more bullish than bearish. We do see a bit of resistance at 23.8. But their money is coming. They're going to print this money. And I don't see how it doesn't flow into the stock market and pump stocks. That's what is supposed to happen logically when money is printed cheaper than it used to be. And people are able to access it. They put it into risk on assets because it's cheaper. They're more risky with the money because they're like, well, it's, you know, I can pay less than that loan. So shout out to anyone that bought more Bitcoin on yesterday's low. God bless you. Thank you for jumping on in. So yeah, gold looking pretty nice. Bitcoin taking the clobbering. The bot did not buy yet. TOTAKEKE, dark chems. Never heard of it. Looks like it's on the low though here. So yeah, I don't see huge opportunity. The hottest coin of the game right now is Hyperliquid, holding gains against basically everything in the market. Really nice to see. Let's take a look at ETHBTC. Super important to kind of watch what's happening there with ETH Bitcoin. We did look at it on the bigger time frames like the weekly, and it suggests that this has to make a longer pullback to be sustainable. Unless you could just continue to pump away from the weekly and pull it with you, which I haven't, like in my veteran status of watching price, I haven't seen that. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen, right? And I want to take a broader look, too, at the Bitcoin bottom in a second on the daily. So, yeah, but again, maybe it goes lateral. Like, it's a lot of scribble, right? Whatever happens, it does look like at least somewhere till September 17th to 22nd. It looks like we're about to be in limbo till the rate cut because nobody knows what's going to happen. And I'll just keep looking at the CME watch tool too as well. And we'll take a look at that right now to kind of see the numbers. Sammy, what's your thoughts on Caspa smart contracts in the 31st? You said it as a boost to Caspa. I used to think great things. I just hope Caspa moves with the whole market when the whole market rips because it's a good coin. But I've given up on like catalysts and stuff because they haven't seemed to really done a lot. You know, the market hasn't been frothy enough. 87% still on the board for the rate cuts. And a lot of people think it's going to happen for sure due to rate, you know, to money printing. They're going to have to cut the rates no matter what. Dear Lord, thank you for all the beautiful people here still on the stream. 1,479 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And again, I don't win every trade. If I did, I'd be a bot. It happens. Like we were on fire last week. This week, maybe not so much. It does look like, hey, jump in the long. Every time the long looks enticing, my mind tells me, but they might rip it back up, and I get kind of stuck. And when I'm stuck, I can't trade, so I'm just not taking the trade right now. But it does, the probability says that's a bear flag touching the 21, high stochastic. You're going back down to 106,005. So there you have it. It tells me to take the short. That's what should happen. Take the short. Like I had the short open today, I'd still be in the short. I'd actually probably be slightly in the money. So right now, The probability is short on the 1 hour. If we can get this stochastics to reset in 4 to 5 hours and we somehow never break this low, that's a better indication that the daily is going to bounce. Let's take a look at the daily one last time. On the Bybit chart here, we'll just look at the daily. And the daily did not get the tweezer bottom now. It's tweezer. And it even fell through the bottom. So now it is looking somewhat bearish for Bitcoin. So we took a high-risk, aggressive long. Didn't work. I take another one. You never know. And it only takes one to pay for 4 or 5. So there you go. Walgreens is going private, you say. Interesting. Yeah. Tune in with the live for like and subscribe now for continuation of the magical stream. Get into the 99 to supercharge your life, and that will your secret to success. Hey, man, if it helps him, he's telling you it's a great thing. Jump on it. I do have a trading group. It's awesome. Crypto Lifer, hit the subscribe button. And it's a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. I've given many a call in the last few weeks that have gone up amazingly well. So it's up to you. A lot of people love the stream and they love coming here. So check it out. It's up to you over here. You do whatever makes you happy, huh? We got a beautiful Discord, well organized and ready for you. All right. I just want to kind of show you some of the gains here that have happened in the past. Dogecoin up 3%. Link booming to the upside. Right? Dang, Sean, we've hit so many Bitcoin calls since then. Yikes. Shano. The Ethereum call to the upside that ripped absolutely beautifully. That should be up there. A lot of things. Anyway, it's all right. Shano, did you get sick? Did something happen, man? What happened over here? Anyway, the Ethereum call on Friday was absolutely insane. It's in the trading group. If my team would go through and search for them and do the gains, it would be nice, please. I work 7 days a week. You respect the boss by getting it in and doing all the things that you got to do. We got 2 people that scan that. We got you and Lakochi. We got to do a great job on those. Please, guys, I love you. I love you guys. Please, I'm begging, man. I don't want to be rude. But come on now. All right. It's been long and gone, but the ETH trade last Friday was absolutely absurd. Let's take a look. Right before it pumped here, I gave a call for Ethereum to break out. It was absurd, and it did numbers. Stop loss and everything was given, and I took that trade, sold 47.40. It went a little higher. I was like, dang, could have made another $3,000. And now we're kind of sitting pretty here above this key area, but this was a monster trade given in the trading group that absolutely went bananas. Also, Bio Protocol, we hit for massive gains. A bunch of coins we've hit in the last week that we should be going over. That could be gone over there. But anyway, a little disappointed today right there when that happened. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, life will go on. I'll forget about it tomorrow. And I'm already over it. What are you going to do? Can you give me some Dogecoin hopium, please? Let's take a look at Dogecoin and see what's happening to Doge on MEXC. And yeah, you can always go back to the timestamps, hit the timestamps, match the timestamps to the show, see what I said on the show, match those screenshots to the thing. There's just more work that's got to be done. Everyone, it's not a coasting job. It's a hard job that takes like an hour of work. It takes an hour of detailed work to do those gains. You can't just skim through. And if you skim through, you're not going to be able to do them correctly. I know how to do the job right, but I personally don't want to be the one doing it. I will go back to doing it if you want, but I thought the point was to help Sammy out so Sammy could focus on everything else. That's all. Doge looking at a low here. Can we get the bounce off the bottom level? There's hundreds of thousands of people out here. Can we get a move here to 34? I mean, it could go either way. It really depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin finds its way. We get a bounce, yes. Bitcoin keeps dumping. Doge falls back out. Retest the double bottom at 19 or even comes lower to 14. Both of these things are possible. I'd love a bounce here. It's oversold on the 4-hour, telling us there's definitely a likelihood of a bounce. It's oversold in the daily, somewhat, but it's not perfect, right? I sold Bitcoin right now. How much do you think it'll retest and what will be the prices? I don't know, man. I look at it every single day. I'd be looking down somewhere to 105, 104 for the next retest, though. Getting very tight on Doge. Can you break all the way up to about 34? It's very possible. And shout out to my whole staff and everything they do. I love everything you guys do. I appreciate it. We just got to hit some high levels, man. Achieve greatness, man. We can't achieve greatness if we don't do greatness. Amen. Right? I don't know what's going to happen to Doge, honestly. Like, I give my, I like us above the 200 moving average. It's tight like Solana and other coins. It's in the bigger picture idea, too, that we see overall. But I still see sideways price action for a while for a lot of coins. I don't see the altcoins just going out of nowhere ripping. It would be awesome if they did. I just don't see it right now. So I can't be That's why I'm not posting tons of altcoins in the trading group every single day, because they're just not. I don't see huge opportunity in the altcoins. I just don't. All right. Yes. And blessings on everybody out here on the live. Thank you for being awesome and being amazing. This market will twist and turn you and bend and flip you. But eventually, if you stay strong over time, you're going to learn so much that you're going to be unstoppable. I know you can, because I could do it, and it's been a long time coming for me. It probably will take you as long as it took me. But if you believe in yourself, you keep pushing, there's a chance. So let's finish with Bitcoin here. When these moving averages get tight, a lot of times you dump to the 200 moving average. We're about to get into some chop that could hold us down. There's a lot of chop here. It's not easy for Bitcoin to rip through chop, just like it's not easy to get through chop on the upside. We got rejected right there below all this chop. You see that? On our way back up, on that daily, we couldn't get back above 117,000. So can you tweeze your bottom? Only time will tell here for Bitcoin. And we're still in this trade, only down 220 here on MEXC. So we will see. Can Sammy catch the bottom? This thing rips, it'll pay for all the pain. We'll be fine, right? So we're not out yet. We're still in a trade. Stay tuned in my trading group to see if Sammy catches the bottom here on the daily time frame. Can we get the bounce? Be careful, everybody. I only DCA in times like this into projects that I really, really like Hyperliquid, Solana, Sui, and Say. Everything else I kind of watch slowly, and I'm not a speculative on smaller scalp and smaller coins. Be very careful today. I'll be in the trading group, and we're going to watch it. And then we have Thursday, Friday, 8:30. Basically red folders coming at us too as well. So one thing I would be staring at is that 1 hour bear flag. I got to be honest. A lot of times, though, by now the bear flag has dumped. It's maybe they're going to bearishly they might do a bearish retest now. I feel like it fell out the flag. Just want to say it's in like a chunky flag, but I feel like it fell out the flag. Look for the bearish retest. 5 minute, 7 minute. Look for this to come back out and get rejected by the 200 moving average, rejected by the trend line. That moving average takes you to 106,000 BTC. One last look at BOOKMAP too before we jump on out of here. And BOOKMAP also suggests you go lower, somewhere down to 108, and then possibly you would start cascading further down into bigger liquidations. So I took along on the daily. I'm out of my mind. I'm taking a high risk position to see if I can call the bottom here off this bullish div in the higher low. It's struggling though, and it doesn't look amazing. And only time will tell. You got to do whatever makes you happy and whatever your risk tolerance can give you. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Yes, everything is timestamped here on the live stream, so you'll be able to see everything that we just did. It'll say BTC trade, and there'll be a timestamp next to it, 100%. God bless everybody. Thank you for jumping on in. I'll see you guys on the next one. May God bless each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Thank you so much for your awesome bullishness in this harsh time. It is not easy. They got people giving up on Bitcoin and in crypto all the time, or on crypto at least. Bitcoin's strong, but no one believes in alt season. It's very, very tough right now. I haven't sold an altcoin, and I will not. I'm going to stay strong. Have a blessed day, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And Rocket Man said, I posted your ETH banger in the chat. Thank you. God bless you for saying that. Let me take a look here. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, that thing banged. Let me take a look here. That was the trade right there. Because I saw this inverted head and shoulder. I saw a beautiful entry for ETH right there. Stop loss there. And this thing just did absolute damage to the upside and started just destroying the game. I think there's another picture of it coming out like that, but that thing was just a monster. Anyway, beautiful trade Friday as Jerome Powell came and we got the pump to the upside. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and being absolutely amazing and spot on with coming to the live. Sorry I lost that first trade. I don't win every single trade. You never know what's going to happen. We'll dig in here and we'll stay tuned. Honestly, I can't tell you what's going to happen. It's very back and forth. Some days in the whole year, I go live 365 days a year. It might be 30 of those 365 where I come to live and I'm like, you know what? My system isn't giving me enough edge either way. And I got to just kind of leave it alone. And I'm just taking a high risk long here. See if we can catch it. You know, I'm basically, digging for diamonds here. See if we catch that bottom. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Don't lose faith in me over one trade. If I lose, it's just one trade. If I win, don't call me, it's amazing. It's just a data set, everybody. Listen to Trading in the Zone. Listen to Mark Douglas. Listen to older traders. This is just how it goes. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay winning. Stay believing in yourself. Nobody else will. You've got this. You can. You will. You are the best. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Still here.